Stu, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, you too.
What's your reaction to all
anytime.
of this in Texas?
Well, again, more political theater from the left, but the leadership in Texas is right. I'm a Florida lawyer, not a Texas lawyer, but if you're not showing up to do your job, that's a dereliction of duty, and there's got to be some constitutional authority for the governor to remove those individuals for failing to show up to do their job. So it's great to hear the conversations of Paxton and Abbott that they're going to remove these individuals if they don't show up by Friday, and that's absolutely what should happen. You have Texas, the majority of their legislature, trying to move forward on these redistricting maps, and just because Democrats don't want to show up to work, they're not able to have a quorum to move forward. So they absolutely should take action on that.
Well, I mean, look, redistricting is the process that redraws the congressional boundaries to ensure that proportional representation is happening, and every state has different methods to do so. Your thoughts on what they're doing right now in terms of the Democrats not wanting any part of it? Meanwhile, haven't we seen this from Democrats for years, redistricting to try to win elections?
Oh, Barack Obama and his former AG had entire political campaigns and political committees to go all across the country in gerrymander districts. You look back to the Biden administration and what they did with the census, undercutting by counting illegal immigrants in California and New York. If you just look at the voter turnout in an election like mine in Florida and how many people vote, and then how many people vote in, say, a California congressional race, you can see there's much less citizens in those states. And they blamed COVID for the numbers. And I told this administration as Trump came into office, we've got to redo the census. We've got to redo it in an accurate way. And I can guarantee you Florida should have 3 or 4 more seats. Texas should have 4 or 5 more seats. And New York and California should have less seats because they use COVID as a reason why they couldn't count numbers, and they cut us seats. Florida should have at least 1 additional seat based on the last Census Bureau data, and Texas should have at least 2, and that can change the outcome of the House campaigns and the House elections for U.S. Congress.
Well, I mean, it's funny to see Barack Obama coming out and using the whole Republicans are a threat to democracy again, just a week after he was nailed for being behind the whole push to take down President Trump with the Russia collusion lie.
Yeah, this is exactly what Democrats do. They blame others and blame Republicans for what they did. The largest collusion hoax of our nation's history at the highest levels of our government. We now know, thanks to Tulsi Gabbard, that Obama was involved in it. All of the highest level people of his intelligence community were involved in it. And thankfully, DNI Gabbard sent referrals to the DOJ. And I hear that they're moving forward on doing grand jury indictments in all these cases, and they absolutely should. I can't tell you how many people in my district are frustrated because they saw the Russia collusion hoax. They saw that it was all fabricated for years. The mainstream media perpetuated a lie, and there's no justice. Nothing has happened to any of these people that did this to the American people.
Yeah, well, John Ratcliffe, the CIA director, told me that the statute of limitations does not apply if it's a conspiracy, and the conspiracy continues because they keep lying about it. But Ashley, I want to get your take on what all of this means in terms of the redistricting for the 2026 midterm elections. Ashley, jump in here.
Well, it's very important. And Congressman, I just was looking up how much money, over $1 billion, the National Democrat Redistricting Committee, which Eric Holder ran, which you referenced earlier, that's how much money they were spending on this politically. But going back to your question, Maria, this is super important for the midterms. I mean, if we do get 5 extra seats in Texas, that's going to help the speaker keep his majority. Also, they're talking in Indiana today, but also Democrats are going to do it on the other side in regards to New York, Illinois, California. There are various rules that I don't need to get into now of how you can do that in different states, but it's going to be very important to the midterm elections and to make sure the Republicans are in control.
What do you think, Congressman?
Yeah, I think it would be great if President Trump reordered a census order based on citizens and not non-citizens in our country. And I think you would see those numbers change dramatically. If we just picked up 5 seats in Texas, that is a huge swing. We only have a 3-vote majority right now in the House of Representatives. To have a 7 or 8 vote majority in the House of Representatives would give us a lot of leeway when we have challenging votes on appropriations and those sort of things. So that makes a huge difference, and it makes it harder and harder in future years for Democrats to take control of the chamber, and we'll be able to hold control of the chamber for a period of time.
Meanwhile, Senate Republicans are mulling whether or not to change confirmation rules now after the Senate Senate went on August recess without confirming President Trump's nominees. They left more than 140 of the president's nominees pending. The changes they're talking about could be shortening debate times or eliminating some procedural votes, grouping certain nominees together, lowering the number of nominees requiring confirmation. Congressman, what do you think happens here? And do you think these nominees are going to get past the finish line? These are not controversial people or jobs, are they?
Yeah, and there's like 1,200 nominees the Senate gets confirmation process on, and only 130 have been confirmed. That shows you how few have been able to get through the process. We're over 6 months into Trump's presidency. They have to change the rules moving forward. We are at a historic, once-in-a-generation opportunity with President Trump in the White House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican House. We have to get these nominees confirmed. We have to get this agenda passed. And if that means changing the rules in the Senate, then by golly, we need to do it to move forward with the mandate that the American people have given us to do.
Yeah, I mean, the president was telling Congress to forget about it, go home. Chuck Schumer wants to be paid for all of this the other day with the fight over NIH spending. Congressman, yesterday you introduced the Securing Academia from Foreign Entanglements Act, known as the SAFE Act, alongside Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan. This addresses the financial contributions made by hostile countries to American universities. And there are a lot. I mean, I think the Qataris are the lead, money in some of these American universities. But China is up there at the top of the list. And what do they want in return after sending money to our universities in America?
They want intelligence. They want information of what our different universities are working on from a research perspective. The Chinese Communist Party for far too long has had their fingers all in our higher education institutions to get information, think about patents, think about research, think about scientific information, think about all of these things that they have had their hands on through students and through money going to these different universities. If they give them a bunch of money, the universities return with information to them, and that absolutely has to stop. The Chinese Communist Party is the #1 threat to the national security of the American people. We shouldn't be giving them information from our highest education institutions in America.
All right, we will leave it there, Congressman. Great to see you. I assume you're practicing your arm for your next congressional baseball game, since you keep.
Yeah, we're trying to get the Savannah Banana. So I did on Twitter. I said, hey, once a year, let's play the Savannah Banana. So I'm calling them out again right now. Let's go.
All right, Congressman, we'll be watching. Great. Greg Steube in Florida. We'll see you soon, sir. Thank you. We'll be right back. Stay with us.